In the very beginning, before time as we know it even began, God created a place of breathtaking beauty, a garden called Eden. Imagine a world untouched by anything but perfection. The trees were taller than any you've ever seen, their leaves a vibrant, living green. Flowers bloomed in a riot of colors, their scents mingling to create a perfume that filled the air. Crystal clear rivers flowed gently through the land, their waters sparkling in the light. And everywhere you looked, there were animals of every kind imaginable, living together in perfect harmony. There were no roars of aggression, no cries of fear and peace. This garden wasn't just a place, it was an experience, a living testament to goodness and life itself. Into this perfect world, God placed the first man and woman, Adam and Eve. He didn't just put them there as observers. He entrusted them with the care of this magnificent creation. Their days were spent exploring the wonders of the garden, tending to the plants, and enjoying the company of the animals. But the most incredible part of their existence was their relationship with God. They walked with Him in the cool of the day, they spoke with Him as you would a dear friend, and they lived in the warmth of His constant presence. God loved Adam and Eve with a deep, profound love, and He provided everything they could ever need or want. Their lives were filled with joy, purpose, and a complete sense of belonging. Before giving them the freedom to enjoy this paradise, God gave them one simple, loving instruction. It wasn't a list of complicated rules, but a single boundary meant for their protection. You may freely eat from any tree in this entire garden, God said with kindness in His voice. But see that tree in the middle, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You must not eat from it. Trust me on this, and obey me, because I know what is best for you, and I want to protect you. Adam and Eve readily agreed. Why wouldn't they? They had no reason to doubt the one who had given them everything. They trusted God completely and were perfectly content and happy in their beautiful home. But for a time, everything continued in this state of bliss. But one day, as Eve was walking alone near the center of the garden, a serpent, more cunning than any of the other animals, slithered up and spoke to her. This was unusual, but in a world of wonders, perhaps it didn't seem as strange as it does to us. Did God really say? The serpent began, its voice smooth and persuasive, that you must not eat from any tree in the garden. It was a subtle twist, a seed of doubt planted in a garden of trust. Eve hesitated for a moment, the question echoing in her mind. No, she replied, correcting the serpent, we can eat from the trees of the garden, but God said about the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden, you shall not eat of it, nor shall you touch it, lest you face the consequences. The serpent saw its opening. It shook its head as if sharing a secret Eve wasn't privy to. You won't face consequences, it hissed confidently. God knows that the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. He's holding something back from you. Eve looked at the tree again. The fruit did look delicious, perfectly ripe and tempting. The serpent's words began to take root in her mind. She started to think more about what she wanted, this forbidden knowledge, this promise of being like God, than what God in his love had asked of her. Just then, Adam joined her. The temptation wasn't just Eve's anymore. It became a shared moment of decision. She offered him the fruit, and together they made a choice. They chose their own desires over God's loving guidance. They chose to believe the serpent's lie over God's truth. They chose to disobey, and in that single act of rebellion, they reached out, took the fruit, and ate. Instantly, everything changed. It wasn't a clap of thunder or a bolt of lightning, but a profound and devastating shift within them. The innocence they had known their entire lives vanished. For the very first time, they felt shame. They looked at each other and felt exposed, vulnerable. Their first instinct was to cover themselves, to hide their newfound nakedness. A new emotion, one they had never experienced in the perfect garden, flooded their hearts: fear. Later that day, they heard the familiar sound of God walking in the garden. But this time, the sound didn't bring them comfort and joy. It brought terror. Overwhelmed by their guilt and fear, they ran and hid among the trees, trying to conceal themselves from the presence of the one who had been their closest companion. God called out, his voice echoing through the once peaceful garden. "Where are you?" He wasn't asking because he didn't know their location. He is God. He knew exactly where they were and what they had done. He was calling to them as a heartbroken father would, inviting them to come out of hiding, to confess, and to return to him. Hesitantly, Adam and Eve came out from their hiding place. Adam first blamed Eve, and then Eve blamed the serpent. They explained what they had done, their voices filled with the shame they now carried. God's heart was saddened. He wasn't angry in a human way. It was the deep sorrow of a creator who knew that their choice had just unleashed pain, hardship, and separation into his perfect world. Their single act of disobedience would have consequences not just for them, but for all of humanity that would follow. Yet, even in this moment of brokenness and failure, God did not stop loving them. His love is not conditional. He explained the natural consequences of their choice, that life would now be difficult, that they would have to leave the perfect garden. But in the midst of this painful truth, he also gave them a glimmer of hope. It was a promise, a declaration that their story wasn't over. He promised that one day he would send a savior, someone who would come to mend what was broken, to crush the head of the serpent, and to restore the relationship between God and humanity that had been shattered that day. As Adam and Eve prepared to leave the garden to step out into a new and harsher world, God performed one last act of tender care. He saw their flimsy attempt to cover themselves with leaves, and he made them garments of skin, covering them with something far more durable and protective. Even in their mistake, even as they faced the consequences of their actions, God showed them mercy and continued to provide for them. Their story, the story of Eden, became more than just a memory of a lost paradise. From that day forward, it has served as a powerful reminder for all of us, a reminder of the beauty of obedience, the cost of disobedience, and the unending, merciful love of a God who, even in our darkest moments, is always making a way back to Him.